Hi guys, so in the last video we have seen how we can import our own character designs and use them with the rig. Now in this video we are going to see how we can further customize our character by only changing selected parts. Rather than changing the whole character, we're only going to change selected parts. This way we can retain almost all of the functionality of the toolkit in here, including the head animations, etc. So let's start. I have this character right here. This I would like it to be a raccoon, and for this I would like to add some small things. So let's see. I'm going to go to the Head Studio in here, and when I enter inside of the Head Studio in here from the effect controls, and if I go for instance under face texture, I can see that in here I have this thing, select face texture. If I scrub through different designs in here, I would like to add basically a new style to these textures. So let's go back to one. I quite like this, but I have designed something else in here that I would like to use instead of this texture. So to do that, I'm simply going to go to my Explorer where I have these saved. So in here, just to see, we have the head texture that I'm going to use for this right over here for under the eyes. Then I have designed also a hair, and you can go ahead and design these in external applications like Illustrator, and then save them into a PNG file. Make sure to have a transparent background. I have also designed a tail in here for my character, and also a new torso shape. So these are the things that I'm going to add and further customize my character with. So let's drag and drop, and now I'm going to organize these, rename these to customized parts, and simply drag them right inside of that folder. Now let's open that folder. And to start with the head texture in here, we need to simply go into this folder, Animal 01, go to Animal Parts, and inside of the head in here, I'm going to find the right face texture in here, our face texture. And by changing just this, you will be able to change both of these textures in here. So you only need to change this in terms of face texture. Now I'm going to import that head texture that I have designed, and I'm going to import it right after the last layer in here. Let's zoom in a little bit in here, make sure that this is aligned like that. I'm going to toggle this so that I can see properly, and then I need this to range just for 1 second. So if you see it in here, each one of these ranges for 1 second only, so I want that to range just for 1 second. And simply split this in here, so edit split layer and delete that last part. And now it ranges from 9 to 10 seconds. So now if I go to the Head Studio and to the effects controls from the Head Studio, if I choose style 9, since I placed that in the 9th second in there, you can see that our texture is updated right over there. And now we can tweak this further so that it looks the way that we want it. Texture height and then distance between the textures in there. So the next thing is the hair that I would like to add. So if I go back to the project window in here, for most of the things in here, you can add as I am doing, so you can add your own styles. So let's go to the hair and go to the last style that we have available in here. I'm going to click this as well in here, and I'm going to place it right in here, right as second 04. So raccoon hair, place that right over there, and make sure that it ranges just for 1 second. Cut that, Ctrl Shift D, and delete the last part. And now if I go to the Head Studio, let's go to Effect Controls, and if I open Hair, I can select Style 4 in this case, and there you can see the new hair design. So let's reposition this, scale it a little bit up, and perfect. Like that, the head is done. Now I can jump to the Animal Studio and see that update right over there. Now I would like to change also the torso and then the tail. So to change the torso shape, I'm simply going to go back to the project window. Let's now go to torso and go to select torso shape. Double click on that, and let's zoom in a little bit in here, find the last one, and import that right at the 8th second in this case in here. So torso shape, drag and drop, and that should range till the 9th second, and simply split this in here as well. Ctrl Shift D and delete the last part. If we go a little bit back in here and let's show this, you can of course reposition these if you need and scale them, etc. And now if I go to the Animal Studio and let's select the Character Studio in here and go to Effect Controls. From the Character Studio effect in here, I can go to Torso and select that new design that I have imported. And I have imported that at 8 seconds, so that should be available as the 8 style in here. So of course you can play now with thickness and so on to continue customizing your own character. We can also play a little bit with the head. I would like to increase a little bit the size maybe in here, just like that. So feel free to play with all those features that you have. And lastly, I would like to edit that tail. So let's go to the project window, go to the tail. Just after the last one in here, we need to add that tail. Now, as for the tail, we simply need to import it in this case in the 14th second. Raccoon tail, place that right over there and cut that at the 15th second and delete the last part. Now, as for the tail, if I show this in here, you need to make sure that it is aligned. So the beginning of the tail needs to be aligned in the center in here. If you look at the other tails, they are all aligned in the center in here. And to check if that is in the center, you can go to here and switch on the title action safe in here, and you can see that it is exactly in the center right over there. So with that done, we can jump back to the Animal Studio and let's go to the effect controls, go to the tail section and change the style to, I think that was 14. Perfect, and there is the new tail. And if I increase the size, you can see our new tail. So like that, we can see how I have created a completely new character using custom designs that we have changed and added to the toolkit.